everybody, welcome to the Carson Alexander podcast. Today I got a veteran in the junk removal industry with me. He has been doing junk removal for quite some time. We're going to be jumping into his story. He started off doing junk removal. He moved his junk removal business into subcontracting junk removal jobs to other companies, and then he's taken that method, taken all of his knowledge that he knows, and now he is giving it to junk removal business owners in the industry. I have today with me Matt Fitch. How's it going, man?
What's up, Carson?
Nice to have you here. We're at the Junk Removal Summit in Dallas, Texas that Ricardo is hosting. So, Matt, are you able to tell people a little bit about you, kind of your beginnings, what you're doing now, just real quick before we kind of get into it?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I started up junk removal in 2011 and in Austin, Texas. So I started up as a local hauler, just like pretty much everyone here today, and I grew it up to about $500,000. So I was hovering between 400 and 500,000 for several years.
How many years has it been at this point?
I did it for a decade straight just in Austin before I ever started subcontracting.
Wow.
So the subcontracting thing kicked off for COVID. So when I saw the market start getting flooded with all the haulers, I was like, I think people are probably going to need junk removal jobs more than they're going to need a junk removal hauler. So I was like, and I was kind of side hustling marketing deals because while in the process of setting up all the subcontractors, I ended up working with almost 300 of them. So I got 280 something subcontractors nationwide, all over the country. And so, but what I was doing is I was feeding, just a few jobs a week to random haulers, and so I wasn't trying to dominate every market. I was taking a little slice of the pie, but lots of slices of pie. And so in the process of helping these guys build up their own junk removal businesses so that they could stay busy in between my jobs, a couple of them asked me to build a website. A couple of them asked me, like, well, how are you getting the leads? And I'd be like, well, we do SEO. They find us online. Well, how do you do that? And so they started paying me to do it. And I was side hustling websites and marketing for a couple of years, still trying to do the iHaul thing, subcontracting. And one of the guys that hired me to build the website, then what are you going to do with iHaul? I'm going to sell it someday. He's like, well, I want to buy it.
Hey, there you go.
So I sold it, and I didn't have any trucks, I didn't have any trailers, I didn't have anything at that point. I was subcontracting all the jobs out. So I sold a handful of websites, sold 15 Google business profiles, sold a list of 7,000 customers, sold a list of almost 300 subcontractors, and he just basically got in the driver's seat and he's doing his thing.
So it's still active today?
Oh yeah, he's
wow.
Doing great. Yeah. Yesterday he booked 5 jobs online.
Wow. Yeah. And so what do you do today?
So I started Junk Blitz Pro.
Okay.
That's what I did. About a year ago, I was like, I need to call this something, So sat down with a buddy and we're like, well, what do we do? And we're like, it's junk removal, and he's like, Junk Blitz. All right, cool, that's cool. So Junk Blitz Pro is the name, and I sold iHaul in July of last year.
Okay.
And so that allowed me to just go all in.
So what led you into the junk removal business initially? Why, for those who are watching that may be looking to get in the junk removal space and have been trying to figure out if it's the right fit for them, what made you look at that as an option and where you were at in your life at the time?
That's a good question. It was an interesting time in my life when I did this, because I was doing a lot of different things. I was training to be an arborist for a couple of years, so I was doing a lot of tree work, and I was getting into landscaping, building fences, doing decks.
A lot of blue collar stuff already.
Whatever I could do to stay busy.
Okay.
And every once in a while, people would ask you to haul something off. I was like, all right, whatever. Didn't even think it was a business model. But shit went south. I had lost a bunch of money on a few deals that went bad. I wasn't doing the work myself. I was working with people and I didn't do a good job at picking the right people, and I didn't train them correctly. And so we got into jobs that we couldn't get done, and we got fired. I lost almost $30,000 at one December.
And in these landscaping business models, what a lot of guys don't realize is, you can have $1 million business only serving 3 clients. You can have, so the moment that you lose one of these clients, you may lose half of your business overnight, and that can be a kicker because you have to have the overhead to support that client. Whereas with junk removal, you're servicing a new customer every day, and the momentum of your business is just getting more leads and things like that. So your
100%.
overhead is not as exposed versus some of those, fencing we have a fencing company here at the event. He was telling me the same thing of, you got some of these blue collar businesses that are just not, protected in terms of overhead.
It is. It's tough. If you have all your eggs in one basket. The diversity of your clientele with junk removal is awesome, but the profit margins are way better. So the reason why I decided to go all in with junk removal is when I went under. We got fired on 3 jobs. PayPal pulled like 30 grand out of my account. And I was like, fuck, we're screwed. I'm sitting on my front porch. I'm like, what can I do myself? I didn't put the right people around me. I'm getting into jobs that I can't do, and I'm not even efficiently managing them. And I said, it's junk. How do I fill my schedule with picking up trash? And so I started doing some research, and there was some franchises. Like got jobs, obviously been around. The Hunks, they were pretty big in Austin. And all right, these guys are just doing it. And so I went all in, and that next month I had a few people that wanted me to build fences, proposals I had put out. I turned down $20,000 worth of work. I was like, nope, all I do is junk removal, and I haven't done anything since then.
Wow. Yeah. So what were some, you had taken that first junk removal company you started, you worked on it for 10 years, and then you moved into subcontracting junk removal business. And so what are some of the biggest challenges, and you and I were kind of speaking off camera about it, what are some of the biggest problems that you faced whenever you were subcontracting jobs?
Yeah.
Because that seems a little tricky. You're doing it nationwide from an office, and you know.
100%. So kind of the reason why I ended up with a social media presence is because I wanted to get in here to find subcontractors. Because initially I was going to places like Craigslist. Okay. So I was like, all right, these guys are going to be cheap. There's going to be enough margin, but. You're hiring crackheads, and I had 3 loads spread out across Rodeo Drive, and like we were doing a clean out in an office, and the dude just illegally dumped 3 loads of and so the lady calls me the next morning freaking out because she's driving into work the next morning, and so 9 o'clock, I get this freak out call, and she's like, my fucking shit is everywhere, she sent me pictures of beautiful little cafes with a pile of
Beverly
fucking
Hills,
shit.
California.
I shit you not.
Someone just dumped all of her stuff that
3
you had
loads.
subcontracted out on the main road. That's crazy.
So what I did is I took one of my other subcontractors and I just paid him out the ass. I was like, dude, I need you to get out there today. And I took a huge loss, but we went and we cleaned it up, and I didn't get a negative review. But that's why I'm on Facebook, because I could go in and I could find the haulers with strong presence. I could see their personalities. I could see that they truly care about their business, and if they care about their business, they got their shit together.
Reputation.
They got a ton of they're not gonna. A lot of them, they've got their branded trucks. They're showing up. They're still representing themselves as well, and so they tried harder, and it was just having that connection of, and also me being vocal in these groups. What I did is I got out there and I just started talking about what to do. Like for me, I said, this is what I have to do to be professional. But the subcontractors started, and they're like, okay, this is what we have to do to work with them. And so they were coming to me, but with already understanding what the expectations are.
Gotcha.
And so I found that YouTube and Facebook groups is where I could find reputable haulers, and they trust me, because they don't just think that I'm a competitor, or they don't think I'm load up or check Sammy. I pay them really high, so we target commercial work so that we can charge at the top, and then we find a good hauler that's 1 or 2 levels below, and so you pay them 60 to 80% of the job, and they're making a little bit more than what they normally make. So you get your cut, make some money, and they're happy, and so they just keep coming back and doing what you need to do.
So you've taken, so you started off 10 years doing junk removal, you went in subcontracting, now you're coaching, and to kind of wrap it up, what are some of the most common issues that you see new junk removal business owners facing, or ones that are wanting to get in the door? What are some of the most common areas you're able to help in coaching in terms of some of these new guys in the industry?
Well, I do the marketing, so understanding that we have to have a good marketing mix in multiple marketing channels is where people go wrong. Andrew's in there talking about Google Ads right now. You know, the biggest thing that I see is that people come to me and they're like, dude, I just busted my budget on Google Ads, you know, and they're Google Ads is a good way to get customers, but you know, your ROI is not high, and so it should be like maybe the 10th marketing channel you pursue. You know, like go for these other channels where your ROI is higher, and then when your clientele starting to level off and plateau, go into Google Ads, get someone to run it professionally, and we don't bust your budget, but have the right expectations. You know, like you're not going to make a ton of money, but you're acquiring a customer that's going to hang out for a couple of years. They're going to spend $1,200 over the next 2 years, and so if you go into it with the right expectations, they usually don't. They just get out here and they're like, I'm going to spend this much money, and I know I'm going to get jobs from Google Ads, and it doesn't work out. And so a good marketing mix is probably the thing that people aren't doing right now.
So how can people find you?
Website's junkblitzpro.com, and we've got a private Facebook group that is 30,000 of us. So it's full of just junk removal business owners.
And I'm in it.
Yeah,
I'm in the group.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think everybody here is in the
I think everybody here is in the group, a lot of the influencers. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to drop all of Matt's information below. I'm going to drop the link to join the Facebook group. You can send in, you can apply for it and get in, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you so much, man.